That's it. And then y'all talk about the women in the Bible. What is the strongest thing outside of God in the Bible above man or anything else? What is the strongest thing? Do y'all know? A woman. Yeah. So shut up with that bullshit. When you go in the first Esdras, When you go in the first Esdras, the 3rd chapter, it says the only thing stronger on the planet than a woman is the Most High. So when y'all saying that, y'all like to cherry pick 2 or 3 scriptures where it talks about. I'm to be done in a second. Y'all like to cherry pick 2 or 3 scriptures when it talks about how bad a woman is. When a woman can be bad, a man can be bad. But the scriptures say a virtuous woman her price is above rubies. So you can't pick and choose and cherry pick what you want to do to fit your argument. We give one thing I love about that Bible. It gives the whole spectrum. It don't just talk about the goodness of either of us, male, female. Israel is one of the most destructive forces in the Bible, and that's our records.
Welcome to another video. All praise to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. Double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. And this would be a response to Captain Tazarayach said the woman or women in the Bible. Salakia. Captain Tazarayach said that women is the strongest thing in the Bible. WTF. All right. And this came from Sarnetta. This is a short that came from Sarnetta Studios. And this video was shared by one of the brothers in the chat. It may have been Elder Yashawan, but not sure. Anyway, I basically listened to it, watched it earlier today, and I've been meaning to get to it and do a response now. I just recently saw Elder Apostle Rhymelob did a live stream regarding this, and I already had my own lesson planned. So, Lord willing, it's edifying that you get something out of it. Now, I played this in the beginning already, and without a doubt, Captain Tazarayach is going off, of course, and this dude is nothing but a demon. Now, one brother... Elder Yashawama described, he said this dude is basically just a politician, in which I would agree. And in this sense, if you want to, you Israelites out there, if you want to worship women as goddesses and all that old bullshit, if you want to do it, you can do it. But that's not what the scriptures talk about. Now, he made a reference to a scripture saying that in the Bible, women are the strongest thing, right? And I got to find the verse. Yeah. So this is what he was referring to. We're going to read it now. This is first Esdras, right? Let's see. Let me show you. First Esdras chapter 4. So we're going to read what he was talking about, and then we're going to explain it. So this is verse 13. Now I'll just read the verse. It says, O ye men, it is not the great king, nor the multitude of men, neither is it wine that excelleth. Who is it then that ruleth them or hath lordship over them? Are they not women? I'm going to read it again. O ye men, it is not the great king, nor the multitude of men, neither is it wine that excelleth. Who is it then that ruleth them or hath the lordship over them? Are they not women? Women have borne the king and all the people that bear rule by sea and land. Even of them came they, and they nourished them up that planted the vineyards from whence the wine cometh. All right. So basically what this is now, Captain Tazarayach, he should know better than this. What this simply was is this is not like in the Proverbs or written by the Most High. The Most High wasn't the one that said this. These are 3 individuals that are having a contest, if you want to call it that. And then the third man, this was his opinion. And you can go back to first Esdras chapter 3. Go back to the third chapter, excuse me. Let's read it. It says, now when Darius reigned, he made a great feast unto all his subjects and unto all his household and unto all the princes of Media and Persia and to all the governors and captains and lieutenants that were under him from I think it's supposed to say Lydia unto Ethiopia, of 127 provinces. And when they had eaten and drunken and being satisfied were gone home, then Darius the king went into his bedchamber and slept, and soon after awaked. Then 3 young men that were of the guard that kept the king's body spake one to another. See, so these are 3 different men, 3 young men that were guards. They said, let every one of us speak a sentence. He that shall overcome and whose senate shall seem wiser than the others, unto him shall the king Darius give great gifts and great things and tokens of victory. So they said, we're going to have a contest. Each one of us is going to, and it wasn't just one sentence. It was like they're going to give a soliloquy or a paragraph or a talk or whatever, however you would phrase it. And they said, whichever one the king find more pleasing, then this is what they're going to get. He says, and to whom shall the king Darius give great gifts and great things in token of victory, as to be clothed in purple, to drink in gold, and to sleep upon gold, and a chariot with bridles of gold, and a head tire of fine linen, and a chain about his neck. And he shall sit next to Darius because of his wisdom, and shall be called Darius his cousin. And then every one wrote his sentence, sealed it, and laid it under King Darius's pillow. See that? So let's read a little more. It says, and said that when the king is risen, some will give him the writings, and of whose side the king and the three princes of Persia shall judge, that his sentence is the wisest. To him shall the victory be given as was appointed. The first wrote, wine is the strongest. The second wrote, the king is the strongest. The third wrote, women are strongest, but above all things, truth beareth away the victory. You see that? So that's what it was. Each one of them wrote what they thought. Now, this man said women are the strongest, but then he gave a case for it, but then he said, above all things, truth beareth away the victory. And we're going to have to go and read that. It says, now when the king was risen up, they took their writings and delivered them unto him. And so he read them. And sending forth, he called all the princes of Persia and Media, and the governors and the captains and the lieutenants and the chief officers, and sat him down in the royal seat of judgment, and the writings were read before them. And he said, call the young men, and they shall declare their own sentences. So they were called and came in. And he said unto them, declare unto us your mind concerning the writings. Then the first, who had spoken of the strength of wine. All right, so we're not going to read it. You can read this in your own time. The first one came, he spoke about wine, right? And then at the top here, it says, then the second that had spoken of the strength of the king began to say, O ye men, do not men excel in strength that bear rule over sea and land and all things in them? Right? So he spoke his sentence. Now, when you get to the third, this is where Tazarayach was going off. So as you can see, these were just men giving sentences, giving their opinions on what they thought. This is not a definitive statement coming from the Heavenly Father saying, see, of all things, women are the mightiest, my sons. It was just an example. It was an opportunity for this nigga here to try to win women followers and doing all that. Tazarayach I don't know. Just doesn't make any sense to me. But anyway, the dude is going off. And as Apostle Rhymelob said, you can't be surprised by anything these other Israelite groups do, because they you think you heard it all and they just come up with more nonsense. But let's go on. Let's read some of this. Yeah, so this is 1 Esdras 4:13. It says, then the third, who had spoken of women and of the truth, this was Zerubbabel, began to speak. O ye men, is it not the great king, nor the multitude? It is not the great king, nor the multitude of men that is, neither is it wine that it selleth. Who is it then that ruleth them, or hath the lordship over them? Are they not women? Women have borne the king and all the people that bear rule by sea and land. Even of them came they, and they nursed them up that planted the vineyards from whence the wine cometh. These also make garments for men. These bring glory unto men, and without women cannot men be. Yeah, and if men have gathered together gold and silver or any other goodly thing, do they not love a woman, which is comely in favor and beauty? And that's true, they do. But you know what? Women are spoils. They're objects, and I don't mean that in a demeaning way, but it is what it is. You want a woman on your arm as a trophy. That's what they are. A trophy don't rule us. And letting all those things go, do they not gape even with open mouth, fix their eyes fast on her, and have not all men more desire unto her than unto silver and gold or any goodly thing whatsoever? A man leaveth his own father that brought him up, in his own country and cleaveth unto his wife. He sticks not to spend his life with his wife, and remembereth neither father nor mother nor country. By this also you must know that women have dominion over you. Do you not labor and toil and give and bring all to the woman? Yea, a man taketh his sword and goeth his way to rob and to steal and to sell upon the sea and upon rivers, and looketh upon a lion and goeth into darkness, and when he hath stolen, spoiled, and robbed, he bringeth it to his love. Wherefore a man loveth his wife better than father and mother. Yeah, but the Most High made it that way. He made it that man would leave his mother and father and cleave his wife. They would cleave and become one flesh. That's the way it's designed. But see, Tazarayach, I don't know. It goes on. Yeah, many there be that have run out of their wits for women and become servants for their sakes. Many also have perished, have erred and sinned for women. And now do ye not believe me? Is not the king great in his power? Do not all regions fear to touch him? Yet did I see him and Apame, the king's concubine, the daughter of the admirable Bartacus, sitting at the right hand of the king, and taking the crown from the king's head and setting it upon her own head. She also stroked the king with her left hand, and yet for all this the king gaped and gazed upon her with open mouth. If she laughed upon him, he laughed also. But if she took any displeasure at him, the king was fain to flatter, that she might be reconciled to him again. O ye men, how can it be but women should be strong, seeing they do thus? Then the king and the princes looked one upon another, so he began to speak of the truth. O ye men, are not women strong? Great is the earth, high is the heaven, swift is the sun in his course. For he compasseth the heavens round about, and fetcheth his course again to his own place in one day. Is he not great that maketh these things? Therefore great is the truth, and stronger than all things. There it is. See that? All the earth calleth upon the truth, and the heaven blesseth it. All works shake and tremble at it, and with it is no unrighteous thing. Wine is wicked, the king is wicked, women are wicked, all the children of men are wicked, and such are all their wicked works, and there is no truth in them. In their unrighteousness also shall they perish. As for the truth, it endureth and is always strong. It liveth and conquereth forevermore. And then you see, and you can go on from there. You can read the rest of it yourself. I realize that was a lot of reading, so Salakia. But wanted to give the context of it and show you how Tazarayach, and you can take things and read them out of context and try to make them say what you want them to say. All right, but no doubt about it, Tazarayach was coming out wrong with it, and he tried to make it, make this big case for women as if they these mighty beings or whatever. Well, more proof of what we telling you is that women are called the weaker vessel. How the hell is women gonna be stronger than everything else, but then they're the weaker vessel? This is 1 Peter 3:7. It says, likewise, ye husbands, dwell with them according to knowledge, giving honor unto the wife as unto the weaker vessel, and as being heirs together of the grace of life, that your prayers be not hindered. You see it? So they're called a weaker vessel. Okay. And that's no disrespect. It is what it is. You were made in procession as less than the man. Okay. That's just all it is to it. You came out of us. We didn't come out of you. Don't get it wrong. We do literally come out of your bodies as children, but your father had to make you an Israelite. He had to put you where you are. Men carry the seed, not the women. Let's read real briefly here, 1 Corinthians 11:3. But I would have you know that the head of every man is the anointed, and the head of the woman is the man. The head of the woman is the man. The head of the woman is the man, and the head of the anointed is the Most High. There it is. Just that simple. Now, he also, I think he said it, that a woman's value is far above rubies. Okay, well, why that may be true. A righteous woman. Let me see if we can get it. Far. What? No. Let's open up his own window. Do that. A virtuous woman. Not women in general, but a virtuous woman. She's valuable. Not your average woman. Virtuous. Yeah, I couldn't spell it. All right. A virtuous woman. I think it's Proverbs 30. Proverbs 12, excuse me. Yeah, Salakia. Proverbs 31 and 10. Who can find a virtuous woman? For her price is far above rubies. You have to put it in the right context. A virtuous woman, a righteous woman that has virtue is far above rubies. Her price is far above rubies. Not your average, regular ass, boring, lame. Is how my ass look? Does this make me look fat? You know, why you don't call me ass woman? Not her. A virtuous woman. Here in Proverbs 12 and 4, a virtuous woman is a crown to her husband, but she that maketh ashamed is as rottenness in his bones. You see that? So a woman that makes you ashamed, she's like a damn cancer. Rottenness in your bones. You see? You can easily go off by reading things in the wrong context. As a matter of fact, the men of Israel are likened to fine gold by the Most High. This is Lamentations 4 and 1. How is the gold become dim? How was the most fine gold changed? The stones of the sanctuary are poured out on the top of every street. The precious sons of Zion, comparable to fine gold. You see that? How are they esteemed as earthen pitchers, the work of the hands of the potter? Right. How are they esteemed as vessels of dirt? Let's look it up in the NLT. If I can get it to work. This is Lamentations 4 and 1 from the NLT. How the gold has lost its luster. Even the finest gold has become dull. The sacred gemstones lie scattered in the streets. What are gemstones? Diamonds of all sorts. Diamonds, rubies, pearls, emeralds. See, not just one thing. See how the precious children of Israel, which are the sons of Israel, worth their weight in fine gold, are now treated like pots of clay made by a common potter, which means what? We came down to a lower state. You see? So we can even go further with it than that, but we won't bother to. Captain Tazarayach was going off. I mean, you got that women worship, Queen of Heaven, pussy begging spirit on him that a lot of men have. It's just ridiculous. And even this other individual, there was a comment that Elder Yashwama shared. This guy here, I don't know who the hell he is, but whenever you have a false prophet, you're gonna always have somebody that's gonna co-sign their bullshit. And this nigga jumped right on the comment. Well, he's got the one eye showing some illuministic shit. True Down South 8490 says, I can't find one evil Israelite woman in the Bible. Well, that's because your dumb ass don't know where to look, or you just haven't looked. One thing you need to understand first off is that women are not individual women are not spoken about a lot in the Bible. The majority of the books are about men. The prophets were all men, right? And as Elder Yashwama said, a woman didn't build an ark. You see? But Jake act like the Bible is about all the Israelites. No, the Bible ain't about, I mean, it is, but it wasn't given individual stories of your everyday Israelite man and woman. And there was a lot of wickedness going on from the women as well as the men, because why would the Most High, why would he exile us unless our people were exceedingly wicked? Just shows you the mind of Jake is like, you can't see past, I don't know, you can't see past what's in front of you. Spiritually, you're just dumb as hell. Anyway, this right here is Jeremiah 7 and 16, right? It was told to Jeremiah, therefore pray not thou for this people. People are men and women. Neither lift up cry nor prayer for them, neither make intercession to me, for I will not hear thee. Seest thou not what they do in the cities of Judah and in the streets of Jerusalem? Let's see what they do. The children gather wood, and the fathers kindle the fire, and the women, them same women with Jason, I can't find one evil woman in the Bible. And the women knead their dough to make cakes to the Queen of Heaven. And even now, Captain Tazarayach is worshiping. He's in the Queen of Heaven spirit, worshiping the Queen of Heaven. That's what spirit he's in. A simple ass nigga in the worshiping the Queen of Heaven spirit. And you get it from his ancestors. That's all. The children gather wood, and the fathers kindle the fire, and the women knead their dough to make cakes to the Queen of Heaven, and to pour out drink offerings unto other gods. And here you go, a whole bunch of Israelite women from the tribe of Judah, might I add, because Jeremiah was from Judah, that they may provoke me to anger. Do they provoke me to anger, said the Lord, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai? Do they not provoke themselves to the confusion of their own faces? See, and get a little bit more proof on that. I'm gonna start at Jeremiah 44, and I started verse 3 right here. Because of their wickedness which they have committed to provoke me to anger, and that they went to burn incense and to serve other gods whom they knew not, neither they ye nor your fathers. Howbeit I sent unto you all my servants the prophets, rising early and sending them, saying, Oh, do not this abominable thing that I hate. But they hearken not, nor incline their ear to turn from their wickedness, to burn no incense unto other gods. Wherefore my fury and mine anger was poured forth and was kindled in the cities of Judah and in the streets of Jerusalem, and they are wasted and desolate, as it is as at this day. Wherefore now, thus saith the Lord, the God of hosts, the God of Israel, wherefore commit ye this great evil against your souls, to cut off from you man and woman? What? Women are part of it, bro. There ain't no evil. It's like, yeah, women too. Child and suckling out of Judah, to leave you none to remain. In that ye provoke me unto wrath with the works of your hands, burning incense unto other gods in the land of Egypt, with ye be gone to dwell, that ye might cut yourselves off, and that ye might be a curse and a reproach among all the nations of the earth? Have you forgotten the wickedness of your fathers, and the wickedness of the kings of Judah, and the wickedness of their wives, and your own wickedness, and the wickedness of your wives, which they have committed in the land of Judah and in the streets of Jerusalem? They are not humbled unto this day. Salakia, they are not humbled even unto this day, neither have they feared nor walked in my law, nor in my statutes that I set before you and before your fathers. Therefore, thus saith the Lord of hosts, the God of Israel, behold, I will set my face against you for evil, and to cut off all Judah. See that? All Judah. And there was more too. Yeah, right down here. Verse 15. Then all the men which knew that their wives had burned incense unto other gods. Wait a minute, that a wicked act? Yeah, it is. Then all the men which knew that their wives had burned incense unto other gods, and all the women that stood by, a great multitude, even all the people that dwelt in the land of Egypt and Pathros, answered Jeremiah, saying, As for the word that thou hast spoken unto us in the name of the Lord, we will not hearken unto thee. You see that? The women said this now. A great multitude. Then all the men which knew that their wives had burned incense unto other gods, and all the women that stood by, a great multitude, even all the people that dwelt in the land of Egypt. So it's a multitude of men and women. In Pathros answered Jeremiah, saying, As for the word that thou hast spoken unto us in the name of the Lord, we will not hearken unto thee, but we will certainly do whatsoever thing goeth forth out of our own mouth, to burn incense unto the Queen of Heaven, and to pour out drink offerings unto her, as we have done, we and our fathers, our kings, our princes, in the cities of Judah and in the streets of Jerusalem. For then had we plenty of victuals, For then had we plenty of victuals, and were well, and saw no evil. But since we left off to burn incense to the Queen of Heaven, and to pour out drink offerings unto her, we have wanted all things that have been consumed by the sword and by the famine. And when we burned incense to the Queen of Heaven and poured out drink offerings unto her, then did we make her cakes to worship, and pour out drink offerings unto her without our men. So this is women saying it. So this is this weird ass nigga that pop up in the comment. Well, I can't find one evil Israelite woman in the Bible. Well, there was a whole multitude of them, and that was just, the kingdom of Judah. So what the hell is you reading? You ain't reading nothing because you don't know no better. You just another mouth breather. That's all. A close talker. One of them jakes that you take an avatar picture, you can see it. Sitting hella close. This nigga sitting danger close to the camera. That's what he doing. Weird ass niggas. Anyway, let's read one more here, and then we can close it out. Because the Israelites were being exceedingly wicked, the women as well as the men. And the Most High got tired of it, and he exiled us. So stop with all that bullshit. Jake loved to do that. You love to act like the Israelites was just this benevolent, God-fearing people that wouldn't dare turn their backs on the Lord. He just, what the fuck you think we got exiled for? Jake was doing all kind of wickedness, and in every captivity we went into, they was worshiping the gods of the other nations. That's right. That's even in Deuteronomy. We'll read it next. Jude 1 and 5. I will therefore put you in remembrance, though you once knew this, how that the Lord, having saved the people out of the land of Egypt, afterward destroyed them that believed not. Right? They was still being unbelievers. And the scriptures tell you that when we got scattered into every captivity, which the Lord said he was going to do, he was worshiping false gods and idols. And the women has been a very major part of that. Deuteronomy 28:64. And the Lord shall scatter thee among all people from the one end of the earth even unto the other. And there thou shalt serve other gods, which neither thou nor thy fathers have known, even wood and stone. You know, I never read this in the NLT. Matter of fact, let's do this instead. Instead of doing that, let's look at it in all the scriptures. NLT, for the Lord will scatter you among all the nations from one end of the earth to the other. There you will worship foreign gods that neither you nor your ancestors have known, gods made of wood and stone. NIV, then the Lord will scatter you among all nations from one end of the earth to the other. There you will worship other gods, gods of wood and stone, which neither you nor your ancestors have known. One more, ESV. And the Lord will scatter you among all peoples from one end of the earth to the other, and there you shall serve other gods of wood and stone, which neither you nor your fathers have known. And that's pretty much it. You and your ancestors, you were doing a lot of dirt, Jake. So stop acting like that, Tazarayach. You was going off. It was spoken in there, but it was merely an opinion, and it was spoken in riddle form or in like a parabolic form. Women ain't the strongest thing in the Bible, cuz just cut it out, man. All praise to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. Shalom.